Charging Chris with Robert's disappearance is one thing. Proving that he is responsible is quite another.
No, but they'll still get him for something, though. For assault, dangerous driving, evading arrest. There's always something they can cook up.
They don't have to cook up anything. By Chris's own admission, he is guilty of all those things.
But only because he was trying to help us.
He can't tell the police that, though.
So we must help him.
Yes, and John. We've got to overcome that, Robert. Well, whoever and whatever he is, and rescue John. Well, that's what Chris was trying to do when he committed those crimes.
It's hard to believe that Robert or anyone else can keep John locked up in the cellar of a junk shop and that we'd be unable to rescue him.
The law. Come here, Priscilla. I'm coming. I'll be with you. There's somebody at the door. Would you like to come in, officer, sir?
I'll never know why I let you talk me into this, Christopher Harding.
Because in the first place, the book tells it a search for a missing kid is in his own home, right?
Are you gentlemen come about my Robert?
Yes. I'm afraid we are going to have to search your shop. That is, if you don't mind.
But I don't see the point of it, officer. You should be out there looking for my poor lost grandson, not coming in here and tramping all over the place and treating an old man like...
We are looking for your grandson, sir. That is why we are searching your shop.
Well, you're not going to find him under there, are you, officer? If he was here, I wouldn't have called the police, would I?
Just a matter of routine, I do assure you, sir.
What?
Routine.
Routine?
Sir.
Oh, well, you can do your routine if you like, but don't mess up the shop, why?
It's down there. Shall I lead the way?
Here, you lead the way. It's down there.
Yeah, all right. Thank you very much, Harding. I'm in charge of this investigation, if you don't mind. Thank you.
Very big feet they've got. They never do a routine with feet that size. Oh, here I go. Hide the stolen property.
All right, Harding, you have had your little laugh. We will now proceed in an orderly manner to the station where we will throw the book at you.
But it was here. I swear it was here. And John, this friend of mine with the special powers, he was locked up in a dungeon.
Oh, yes. Look, Harding, if you think you can dodge what's coming to you by trying out the old Tweety Bird act on a trick cyclist, you have got another thing coming.
But it was here! John! John!
If I was to kiss you, Harding, would you turn into a beautiful princess and tell me that a wicked witch had put a spell upon you? Come on, lad. I've heard enough fairy stories for one day.
Oh, they've walled him up. They've walled him up! They've walled him up!
Priscilla. I'm coming. I'll be with you. There's somebody at the door. Would you like to come in, officer, sir?
I'll never know why I let you talk me into this, Christopher Harding.
Because in the first place, the book tells it is search for missing kiddies in his own home, right?
Are you gentlemen come about my Robert?
Yes. I'm afraid we are going to have to search your shop. That is, if you don't mind.
But I don't see the point of it, officer. You should be out there looking for my poor lost grandson, not coming in here and tramping all over the place and treating an old man like...
Well, we are looking for your grandson, sir. That is why we are searching your shop.
Well, you're not going to find him under there, are you, officer? If he was here, I wouldn't have called the police, would I?
Just a matter of routine, I do assure you, sir.
What?
Routine.
Routine? Oh, well, you can do your routine if you like, but don't mess up the shop, why?
It's down there. Shall I lead the way?
Here, you lead the way. It's down there.
Yeah, all right, thank you very much, Harding. I'm in charge of this investigation, if you don't mind. Thank you.
Very big feet they've got. They never do a routine with feet that size. Oh, here I go. Hide the stolen property.
All right, Harding, you have had your little laugh. We will now proceed in an orderly manner to the station where we will throw that book at you.
But it was here. I swear it was here. And John, this friend of mine with the special powers, he was locked up in a dungeon.
Oh, yes. Look, Harding, if you think you can dodge what's coming to you by trying out the old Tweety Bird act on a trick cyclist, you have got another thing coming.
But it was here! John! John!
If I was to kiss you, Harding, would you turn into a beautiful princess and tell me that a wicked witch had put a spell upon you? Come on, lad. I've heard enough fairy stories for one day.
Oh, they've walled him up. They walled him up!
Oh, come on, boy. Look at the dust. Those shelves have been there for years. You've been reading too many horror comics.
What's going on down there? Sounds as if you're tearing the place apart.
Sorry about your shelf, sir.
Ha! I know him. He's one of the people who broke in the other night and tried to smash the place up. You ran off when you saw my gun, my boy, though, didn't you? You got no stomach for a fight.
Gun? What gun? You got a license for that, sir?
Now you'll bring the police in to help you finish the job.
No, sir. No, we didn't.
Instead of tearing the place apart and destroying an old man's home and business, you should be out there and looking for my poor lost grandson. If he's still alive. If this lunatic hasn't murdered him.
Murdered? Yeah. You didn't murder him, did you, Harding?
No.
No, that's right. Because if it was murder, they'd have taken me off the case and given it to someone from Scotland Yard.
Get out!
Get out! He's escaping! Quickly!
I warn you, Harding. The judge will lock you up and throw away the key. You want to go back? Harding! Harding!
I think it's time I explained things to you. Which world are you from, by the way?
Why, from Earth.
Chris!
That you were arrested.
Don't call me Houdini Harding for nothing, you know.
Oh, that saves us the trouble of rescuing you.
Yeah, but it doesn't finish there. They're still after me. And they're going to try and pin the murder of that kid onto me. Unless you can help me.
We shall, Chris. I will destroy their computer records, and one of the Tomorrow people will erase the memory from their minds. But later, when we have cleared up this business of John and the blue and the green.
Fair enough.
We were planning another attack on the junk shop.
Well, there's no point in that. There's nothing there anymore.
What?
Nothing. The police took me back there. That's what I just escaped from. Nothing but a dusty cellar full of boxes and shelves.
What about the dungeon? I saw it!
So did I, but there's nothing there now.
You might say that I am from this world, but not of it, if you see what I mean.
Actually, no, I don't.
But I shall try to explain. You must forgive me for being hazy. I have nothing to guide me but the ancient knowledge, The instincts long buried deep inside me and only now emerging.
Carry on.
I was born on Earth.
Where are your parents?
I don't know. I never knew them.
I'm sorry, go on.
It is not the way of our species to raise their own young. But we fly freely through space without need of spaceships, much as a bird flies through the air. Our eggs are laid on many different planets, and provisions are made for their incubation and hatching.
We're like cuckoos.
Yes, the analogy had struck me when I began to realize what I am.
You were hatched from an egg?
No.
No, but I don't understand.
What you call eggs are made to look like the most dominant life form on the host planet.
You mean in human form?
Yes.
Well, how many of you are there?
Thousands.
See. Well, you know who we are. Is there any way in which we can help you?
No. Indeed, you must try to stop us.
Stop you, but I don't
You
understand.
won't stop us because after the hatching comes the swarming.
Swarming?
We swarm off into space and leave the Earth in peace. What's left of it?
What do you mean?
For the swarming, we have to charge ourselves with energy.
What's that?
A very special kind of energy. The energy that is radiated by human beings only in the act of violence.
You mean you have to get human beings to commit acts of violence to provide the energy you need?
I'm afraid so.
So that's the reason for the paintings. And all the blue and green business.
Yes. My mother returned to Earth to lay her eggs because she was born here. Just her. Her alone in the ancient city of Constantinople in the last years of the Roman Empire. To get the energy she needed, my mother split the people of the city into two factions. The blue and the green.
I know, I read about it in Gibbons. There were weeks and weeks of rioting. Thousands of people were killed, and shortly after the Roman Empire collapsed.
Yes, and that was just for the swarming of my mother. This time there are thousands of us waiting to hatch all over the world.
You're right, of course. We'll have to stop you swarming, all of you.
Even if it means killing us. Because if we fail to swarm at the proper time, we'll die.
Well, what's the alternative? If you do swarm, thousands of people will die on Earth in the riots and fighting.
My course is clear, I'm afraid. I must not let anything stop us swarming.
We couldn't do that. If you let me go, we'd try to help.
You wouldn't stop the swarming?
No. But we would stop the rioting on Earth. Try and find some other way to give you the energy you need.
I kept you prisoner because I thought your friends with their superpowers would try to rescue you and release a lot of violent energy. But that didn't happen.
No, would it? But tomorrow people have no violent energy. Only the saps have that.
So I gather. All right, I'll let you go.
Tim, don't you think it's about time we asked for help from the Galactic Tree?
John!
Hey, how'd you manage to escape?
I didn't. He let me go.
Why, well, after going to all that
I
trouble?
haven't got time for explanations. What's the world situation on riots right now, Tim?
Not good would be an understatement.
Does the Galactic Federation have any record of the Denegili, Tim? That's what Robert says they call themselves.
No, nothing is known. But from what you have told us, John, the preparation for the swarming must have already begun in many parts of the world.
The time is almost ready. I must finish the painting. Without it, the humans will not riot and we cannot swarm.
Trouble is, if we stop the swarming, thousands of the Denegili will die.
And if we don't, thousands, perhaps millions of human beings will die.
People are gonna die whatever we do.
Hey, look at Chris. In the middle of all this, he's fallen asleep.
Suppose having a nightmare in his sleep is preferable to living awake in one.
Rems!
What?
Rems, that's it. Rapid eye movement. Well, Chris may be asleep, but look at him. Whatever he's dreaming about, he's certainly living through it.
It's an idea.
What are you two on about?
You'll see in a minute. Let's wake him up, Stephen.
But he needs to sleep. He must be exhausted.
Chris?
Oh, sorry, I must have dozed off.
That's all right. What were you